So you guys are the first couple guests on the show, so it's a tremendous honor for you.
Why, thank you. We accept this honor humbly.
I'm so excited to talk to both of you. I want to talk about music. I want to talk about life and work and all the things. But first, I want to talk about your wedding. And I'll tell you why. Because last May, right around the time that you got married, I think was exactly the moment when it was finally kicking in, that we were, nobody was going anywhere. And, you know, we were all going to be staying home for a hot minute. And for all of us who are on the road all the time, it was really traumatic and it caused this huge shift. And I remember having a lot of conversations with my colleagues about, what does this mean to stay home all the time, you know? And there you were getting married. And I remember seeing that because everybody saw your wedding because it was in Vogue magazine. And how interesting to start a marriage, you know, for both of you who are travelers, to start a marriage in this state of staying still.
I love how you put that, because I've thought before about how we weren't able to really do a real quote unquote honeymoon, which is, I think, the only way during a normal period of time you can take like 5 days, 10 days to just be together, and then they dive right back into real life. This whole last year was a little bit of this like weird extended honeymoon inside our own like living space and like inside our own company.
And I feel like it introduced us to like real partnership under pressure with the parameters of a global pandemic. And like, it made us feel like if we can hunker down and figure this out together, we could do anything together. You know, like I'm on Project Runway. So it's like a Project Runway, you know, challenge, get married in a pandemic, make it fab, make it fashion. You have no resources, no access to designer dresses, no, you know, like taking on that challenge. I think it bonded us.
Well, you win Project Runway for sure.
Yay! Project Runway wedding edition.
Oh my God. Has nobody done that show? Like take away everything and you have to.
This is our $1 million idea right here.
No, but you know, seriously, this shifts everything. And it's really interesting. One of my last trips before shutdown, I was in Boston working on a show that was already a collaborative show. So that was already different for me. I'm usually by myself on the road. I was with a friend and that was so beautiful. And then we kind of had an evening off. We had dinner together and we were talking about the toxicity of this traveling life and how we're always like this, and the people that we care about and that we need, right? Because they're our creative partners and our food and our energy, and we don't see them and we ignore them. And I've realized how many things you artificially construct so that your life can work. I have a husband, I have children who I love more than anything, but I have lived their whole lives coming and going. Relationship and family. How do you actually integrate those things into your work instead of creating a barrier so that you can, you know, do both things separately?
You said that so beautifully. I mean, you articulated what I think everyone has been wrestling with and hopefully reflecting on during this time, because as the world opens up again, I think it's important that we carry in a new way. It's an important time for us right now to remember to not abandon the new ways that we've learned to operate that are actually healthier for us as the world starts spinning faster and faster and faster again.
I want to ask both of you, because I think there's a perception that people who are in, you know, our lines of work, who are creative, you know, that we have a lot of control over our activities. And we do. We're very fortunate in that way. But I think we're also pretty much primed to say yes to everything, you know, because we come up right through this process of like, say yes to everything, you know, never turn out work. And I want to know how that has shifted for you just in terms of going forward. You know, what is your process now for deciding what you want to do and where you want to go and why?
I'm thinking a lot about like the reality that this pandemic has been so different for so many different people. Even having things to say yes to in this last year at all, like money making, opportunities to make money, opportunities to speak, to be heard, any of that. A lot of people's realities were very, very different than ours. So I think we always talk about gratitude and just being grateful for like the way we were able to endure the pandemic and in some ways thrive. One thing for sure that I'm taking into the reopening is like, how do we continue to do things with intention, with like healing and meditation and presence and love as like the starting point, recognizing that people are tender right now.
I've always been somebody who filters opportunities through a hell yes or no filter, because I, like you, am programmed to say yes to everything. And then you find yourself draining, like leaking energy in ways that are so unproductive ultimately. But I think there is that question in my mind that I have to answer for myself. What is my purpose here? And if there is no purpose, I don't belong there.
The other thing that's really surfaced a lot in these conversations on this show, and I'm thinking primarily of musicians, and I think, Elaine, you've, in your work, you are really connected to the impact that you're able to make, with your book, with your mentorship, I think you see it, like you feel it every day. For a lot of my musician colleagues, there's a question of the why, but there's also the question of the what can I do? And I think that this time and the things that we've done during this time have given a lot of people insight and courage about that. And Jonathan, you launched your Piano and Prayer project, and I think those things just felt so concrete. Tell me about how you got started with Piano and Prayer, because that's been a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. And it came out of conversations that Elaine were having that were very similar to what you just said, like, what can we do? It was like part of a theme of returning home or back to the foundation or back to basics in a sense, where that's something I've done since I was a kid. It's like play the piano pretty much in the dark, tap into things that I can't really express or even search out in other ways. And sharing that, I think, has been, it just felt really organic and natural, and not like I'm putting on a show, but I'm kind of being able to give like an offering and inviting people into my own way of praying, praising, worshiping, processing, meditating. It's been a blessing. So, and it is that thing of like, what can we do for other people?
But I think that's why the community that Jonathan has created with Piano and Prayer is so sacred and so beautiful, because whether you even have faith in your own life or not, it's just the connecting to the goodness in people was something that was really refreshing.
So you've just released this video for your song, Never Like This. And that was also really an exercise in building a community around an idea or an inspiration.
There has been this divinely orchestrated and integrated journey from like us meeting, our marriage, the community that came around to help us make our wedding even happen, the like chosen family that we spent time with during the pandemic, and all of that birthed a lot of this art, really all of Never Like This as well.
This show is co-produced by KDFC in San Francisco and KUSC in LA, and I know you both have a ton of family ties and roots in California. So favorite places or favorite memories or just family shout outs?
We moved to California in the middle of the pandemic, and that was one of those early marriage kind of partnership feats that we're super proud of and grateful for at the same time, because it really came down to us looking at our living situation, working from home, me making music from home, her doing these Zooms and speaking engagements from home, and us trying to figure out what will work for us. And so we moved home. We moved back, not home as in the Bay Area, we're both in the Bay Area, but to the state of California, which is where we both grew up.
Whenever we meet Bay Area people, we're like, you just know it. You're like, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. When somebody's like, I'm from the Bay, or I'm from San Francisco, or I'm from Oakland, or whatever, you're just like, I could tell.
Our parents are still there. My parents are in Sunnyvale.
Your moms sing together in church, right?
They, to this day.
Yeah.
Yep. They have sung in the choir the whole time, we've known each other to this day. And it's really sweet.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Like your moms are talking to each other a lot. Right?
I know. Who you telling? They think that they prayed this marriage into existence. Like they pat themselves on the back and they consider themselves responsible for this. Shout out to our moms.
Yeah.
Always. Well, I have an invitation for you. So KDFC is building a brand new state-of-the-art, beautiful performance broadcast studio in the city. So you should both come in. We'll do something together. We'll do like a piano, what do they call it? Piano battle or something. I don't know.
Yeah. A versus. Is it a versus?
I don't want to battle you. I've seen you play the piano.
We'll do something fun. That'll be a reunion.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
I love that. And I'll be the stage mom there, just recording the whole thing. That's my role with piano.
You can help me with wardrobe. I trust you.
You don't need any help.
You.
I'm looking at you right now. You clearly don't need any help in that department. You got that covered.
Oh, you guys are such fun. Thank you so much for doing this.
This was fun. Thank you.